guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Savana and I am the owner and operator of Pause and Relax Mobile Pet Grooming. I have been on maternity leave for almost a year now. My 10-month-old daughter is in the back seat, so if you hear any noises, that would be her. Today I want to talk about groomers, burnout, and how dog grooming made me hate dogs. I will get more into that, don't freak out. My last video was a very formal video kind of promoting a product, so I wanted a very informal drive with me to the grocery store, me and my daughter, and just talk off the top of my head. No notes today. If there's anything that I forget, I will just do a voiceover or insert a clip while I'm editing, etc. In my driveway right now, this is our new trailer. If you guys remember, we had a tent trailer that we remodeled. I'll put a link in for that if you're interested. But since Everly started crawling, there was no room for both her and the dogs in the tent trailer, very little floor space. So we actually got this trailer and we basically price-wise did like a swap, and we made $500 off the tent trailer, which is awesome because this trailer needed new tires. Anyways, let's go. I don't want to blab about a bunch of stuff not related. I have to stop at my friend's house to drop off a gift that I have for her, and if I'm not looking at the camera, it's because I'm driving and trying to be safe, and I got my little girl in the back seat, so we gotta be safe. So today I want to talk a little bit about burnout in groomers. I will put the signs and symptoms of burnout up on the screen if you haven't heard about it before. It is when you overwork yourself and you feel burnt out, you feel tired no matter what you do, no matter how much sleep you get. Also, I feel that groomers can suffer from compassion fatigue. I will put the definition up because I don't know the formal definition, but the best way I could describe compassion fatigue to you is that we deal with living beings all day. Sometimes we see situations that are not very great, like matted dogs. Maybe we work on rescue dogs that have been abused. We deal with lots of situations that we have to use our compassion and empathy towards these animals and maybe the owners as well. And when you do that day in and day out, it can get very tiring and you can get something called compassion fatigue, where at some point you just stop even caring. Okay, I'm at my friend's house here. Okay, just gotta text her. I just put it in her mailbox. I love doing this thing where I now go speedway. I love doing this thing where I get like gifts for people and then I drop them off in their mailbox and then I just text them that I left them something in their mailbox because I love giving gifts. And if you know anything about the 5 love languages, my top one is giving and receiving gifts. So I show people I care about them by like giving them gifts and letters and stuff. Anyways, and I like to be a surprise, so I like text them and like speed off, and then they look in their mailbox and they have a little gift in there. Anyways, so compassion fatigue. So I feel like burnout and compassion fatigue go hand in hand. It makes sense. I feel like naturally as groomers, we tend to overwork ourselves because often we are paid by commission. So that means you're paid a certain amount per dog, opposed to be paying an hourly wage. So what that means as groomers is the more dogs we can do, the more money we can make. So oftentimes we schedule our days crazy. We skip lunch, we don't take breaks, we work late, we start early, we squeeze dogs in. I find that lots of us, because we're so compassionate and empathetic, we have a hard time saying no to people. We're people pleasers. We also want to help dogs out. So when somebody has a matted dog, we don't want to turn them away because maybe by us saying no, they're not going to look for another groomer and that dog won't get groomed. So I feel like it's a combination of trying to make as much money as we can, trying to people please, trying to be empathetic and compassionate and loving towards these animals. Maybe the salon that you work at, if you're not self-employed, has a certain number of dogs you have to do per day. Maybe they really just don't care about you as an individual. And when I started my business, I mean, there was lots of reasons I started my business. I've always wanted to be my own boss. I don't like people telling me what to do. But the main things were, I wanted to set my own hours. I wanted to be able to choose the type of dogs that I groom and the people that I work with, people that actually respect me, my craft. Grooming is an art, that they get that they can feel the love and compassion that I bring to their pets, that I actually care. I don't want people that are rude to me. I wanted to not do aggressive dogs or dogs that were bad for grooming. I feel awkward because we're at a red light, everybody's looking at me, and I've got a really weird filming setup. I had to bring my tripod into the car because I don't have like a car like holder for my phone or whatever. So, okay, what was I saying? I'm like so turned around now. Okay, so I started my business because I wanted to set my own hours, be my own boss, pick who my clients were. I knew that we were gonna have kids and I wanted to set my own hours for that. Work only when works for me, so I can kind of be almost like a stay-at-home mom / a working mom, because I feel like I really need a purpose outside of being a mom. I realize that now that I've had a kid. I think I would be going crazy if I was 100% stay-at-home mom. I need to get out of the house a little bit, have something to do outside of just raising kids. So that is why I started my business. That's all good and dandy, right? I feel like those are great reasons to start a business. I can control how much money I make. That's all great. Except I start my business and I totally start getting sucked into the whole not saying no to people, working long hours, and trying to make as much money as possible, which is good, but there wasn't a good balance. I was also taking on dogs that I wasn't physically comfortable with doing. I was taking on owners that didn't respect me. All of my boundaries and what I wanted my business to look like completely went out the window. I broke all of my own boundaries. So my suggestion to you, if you are starting your own business, set very clear guidelines and boundaries for yourself, write them down, and then hold yourself accountable for them, because you can very easily get into a slippery slope of working yourself into the ground, getting burnt out, getting compassion fatigue, not enjoying what you're doing anymore, and not even liking dogs anymore. Now, to get into the part of this video that maybe the video is titled this or not, but dog grooming made me hate dogs, in a sense it's true. I was burnt out, I was overworking myself, and I did it to myself. And I was dealing with dogs that were biting me all day. It was frustrating. As much as you can try to keep calm and grounded, I'm a very spiritual person. There's only so much you can handle if you're overworking yourself and also overworking your body. So sometimes I would come home from work and not even see my own dogs.
Hey guys, editing Savana. I feel like I worded that really poorly when I said that when I came home, I didn't even see my own dogs. I misspoke. When I said that, I meant when I would come home, I wasn't in the mood to play with them or be with them like they deserved. Not that I just didn't see them or kept them in a crate or anything like that. I'm sorry. I worded that way wrong. Okay, let's continue on.
Because I was dealing with dogs that were biting me all day, and I was just so over it. And maybe some of you might not like my honesty and transparency, but I know this happens to a lot of groomers. I put up a poll in one of the grooming Facebook pages that I follow of if they felt like after they started grooming, they love dogs more, love dogs less, or if their love for dogs stayed the same. It was a very mixed bag, But you would be surprised how many groomers actually said that they love dogs less. Or lots of people actually said after becoming groomers and like their dogs at home died, they never got a new dog. I feel like it's kind of one of those things where they say like don't turn your hobby into your day job because then you'll lose your passion for it. And I think with some of us groomers, that's what can happen if we overwork ourselves. And I'm not saying that is with every groomer and everyone. We're almost at the grocery store here. But that is definitely what happened for me. And like I was saying, some of you might not like that I'm being honest about that. Maybe that doesn't sound right, that I'm admitting that sometimes I hated going to work, sometimes I hated coming home and my dog's jumping on me. But as we always talk about, I strive to be transparent with you guys, to give you an accurate depiction of what this career is like. And I have to say, I'm very blessed. In Canada, we have a year off for mat leave. Our next baby, I don't know if I'll get that because I'm self-employed. You can watch my maternity leave video to find out how I ended up getting maternity leave this time. But very blessed to have a year off. The year has been such a good reset for me, but I am so excited to go back to work, and I am writing down and setting boundaries, and I am sticking to them. Only working certain days, only working certain hours, only taking clients back on that actually love and appreciate what I do. Nobody that talks down to me, nobody that thinks I'm just a dirty service worker. No more dogs that are too physically demanding for me. There's going to be a price increase. Any dogs that I was undercharging need to be bumped up to what they should have been charged. Some of these people I've been undercharging just because I felt bad or they made me feel bad, but nobody can make you feel bad. It was my choice that I let them make me feel that way. You know what I mean? I need to have a better backbone. I need to say no. Even for the clients that I was pricing on par, there will be a small price increase. And if those clients don't like that, unfortunately, they found a different groomer for the last year. They can just stick with that groomer. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that sounds too harsh, but I need to start respecting myself, my boundaries, my business. I started my business so I could have my dream life and have me going to work look like how I want it to. So I need to set these boundaries for myself, and especially because I am only going back to work part-time. I can't have the days where I am working like horrible and awful and I'm dealing with dogs that are biting me all day. And there are groomers out there that love taking on difficult dogs, and to you guys, that's absolutely amazing. You can have my difficult dogs. But I just need to do what's right for me. And if you guys are groomers or you're thinking of becoming a groomer, you need to be a groomer for the right reason. You cannot be in it for the money, because the dogs will test you. They will misbehave. And even my dogs that I love, sometimes they will misbehave. I'm not talking about I'm only going to have angel dogs. They're animals. They're going to act out sometimes. So I cannot have compassion fatigue. I need to love what I'm doing again. And honestly, guys, I'm really looking forward to going back to work now.
Something that I wanted to add in is just that I came to the realization of all of this actually when I became pregnant, and I was forced to lessen my load. I was forced to go on a weight restriction. I had to do way less dogs a day because I just physically couldn't handle it. And even though near the end of my pregnancy, I was sore and sometimes it was hard to work and lift dogs, etc., I noticed that the lesser workload, getting rid of the dogs that were physically demanding and not fitting in so many dogs a day, I was a much happier groomer, and it brought back my passion. So that's why I'm so looking forward to how I am going to rework my business going back.
And if you were thinking about getting into this career, do not get into it for the money. I mean, you're not going to make $1 million doing this unless you have like a bunch of salons and mobiles and people working for you, blah, 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 blah. But don't get into it for the money. Make sure you absolutely love animals and you're doing it for the right reasons. and set your boundaries. And if you're working somewhere where they are exceeding your boundaries and you're getting burnt out, you need to either start your own business or find somewhere that will respect you. Okay, Evie is getting mad because we've just been stopped for so long and she only likes moving when we're in the car. So I'm gonna go in and grocery shop, and you guys haven't seen Everly in a long time, so I will make sure to take a clip of her. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below. I'm trying to get back into making videos and trying to get motivated again. I cannot wait to go back to work so I can make actual grooming videos for you guys. Anyways, gotta go. See you in my next video. Bye guys. Thanks for hanging out with me in the car.